Hey guys, Caleb with DSLR Video Shooter with 5 things every filmmaker or anyone in video production needs to have. And often these items get pushed down on the list because everyone's thinking about their tripod, their camera, and their lens, which is very important. But before you start thinking about all kinds of different gear and equipment, these are some things that are really gonna help you on set. They're gonna enable you to be safer and just make life so much easier and easier for people that work with you. So I've got all my items here and I'm just gonna quickly go through each one of them. So the first thing that you're gonna wanna invest in is gaffer's tape. Gaffer's tape is just pretty much the glue of production. You can use this for so many different things, whether that be taping up filters or fixing something, holding up, a shot list on a light stand, keeping cables neat on the floor, marking spots on the floor for your talent. Just so many different things you can do. There's multiple different colors. I like to have at least one high visibility color, a black and a white. The black I can use for blacking things out if I'm taping something up like black wrap, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Black is fantastic. They also make silver, so if you, like for instance, my apartment, the framing is all silver. So if I wanted to tape something up, but I didn't want to see some color, bad colored tape, that's a great option there. Green, or red or something like that is great for visibility. If you need to mark out something or keep a cable down, that way people can see it. And then white for labeling. You can put this on anything, put a label on it. I actually use this on my slate. So a lot of times the markers don't work, so this is fantastic because you can just put a bunch on the back of your slate and then label them, numbers, and then put them on the front of the slate, which works great. So gaffer's tape is huge. I'll put a link to everything I'm talking about today below this video on DSLRvideoshooter.com. And what I like to do is actually put a rope around all of my tapes so I can just pull it out of the bag. It's all right there. And if you get it like this where you have 2 sizes and then you can fit a smaller one in the middle, that works awesome. And the next item is clamps. Just like my tape, I use a rope. That way I can just pull it out of my bag and I have a whole bunch of clamps together. These things are invaluable. You can use them for so many different things. Something as an example that we run into a lot is when we're filming in a kitchen or something like that, and there's a really low hanging light. We'll actually use clamps to grab, the chain that holds the light, and we'll bring it up and then clamp it down. That way the light's out of the way. You can use this to clamp foam core to a light stand. I use this on my light stands when I have a really tall light, and if I have a cable like on my LED panel where it has a brick right in the middle, I don't want that thing just hanging there pulling on the cord, so I stick a clamp on the light stand and that supports the cable. Another great feature with these is if you get the ones that have the small little hole in it, you can actually stick a bolt on it with some nuts. This allows you to mount an LED panel somewhere or a monitor or whatever, pretty much anywhere. So clamps are huge. Just buy a whole bunch of them like this, throw a rope around them. All this stuff just dumps right in your bag and you're good to go. The next item is black wrap. This stuff is so useful. The main application is using it to control your lighting. So if you have a light that either doesn't have a barn door or you need more than your barn doors to kind of block light or sculpt your light, this stuff is fantastic. It's essentially like really dense foil paper, and it's black, obviously. That's why I call it black wrap. And so it really sucks up light, no reflections at all, and it lets you kind of sculpt it. Another thing I found this to be incredibly useful for is if you're filming in a very dark area, let's say you want to pitch black and you're in a giant gym, you could use this and cover up exit signs, things like that. Just really so many uses. And so you can get rolls of this stuff. And what I like to do is instead of just throwing it away after every single set, I'll actually take sections like this and then I'll fold it up. And then this fits in a small bag if I have a smaller shoot where I only have a few lights. So you can save the stuff. It's really tough. Just a great thing to have on set. The next thing you really should have on your set and in your production package is sandbags. Sandbags have a lot of different uses. Obviously the main one is safety, keeping this on your light stands. I recommend getting these ones with a high visibility. You can put your name on one of the colored stripes. This particular one, which I'll put a link to, has really nice handles. And then what I do is I take bread bags and then I fill those with sand and stick those in the bag so I don't have a messy, leaky bag. So you can use this for a lot of other things. You can actually just use this for a mounting point for your camera. I'll set this on the ground and then stick the camera right on it if I don't have a tripod or I need to get really, really low. You can use it for high visibility, so if you need to set up, try to alert people to a certain area, or if you have a bunch of gear, you can put them around that. You can also use this as a counterweight, so if you have a large boom light stand, you can use a little clamp and attach this to the back of the light, and that's going to keep it a lot safer. The final thing is extra light stands. You can never have enough light stands. So what I recommend is figure out how many lights you usually use and then get a couple extra ones. These ones are really cheap and I've really liked them. They're perfect for just about everything. They only go to about 6 feet, so that's really their only drawback. They're not going to handle a lot of weight, but they pack down to very little. I'm actually going to do this right now just to show you. They're very light, a little finicky sometimes, and that's it. That's all it packs down to. So this is the impact light stand. This is, the model number is SLS LS6. So fantastic little light stand. So these are great to have. Another great use is when you need to have some bounce lighting or set up a fill light, you can just clamp with your clamps that you already have, foam core onto these puppies and then use that for flags or bounce or whatever else you need. So that's 5 things I recommend everybody try to get in their kit. They aren't really expensive, so it's not like it's a huge budget breaker, but they're really, really helpful. They'll make things faster, safer, and just make life in general a lot easier on set. So go to the website, DSLRvideoshooter.com, for more reviews, tutorials, and links to all this stuff and where I've purchased it myself. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the future.